Hey guys, it's Forsaken Reality here. In this video I'll be integrating our advanced ladder climbing system into Advanced Locomotion version 4. So the first thing we're going to want to do here actually is open up ALSV4. To get a copy of this, you want to create a project in version 4.24 plus. If you create it in 4.23, it'll actually create a version of Advanced Locomotion version 3. So once in here, you want to go into your project settings, collision, new trace channel, add ladder and ignore, and hit accept. Then we can come into here and right click on our ladder climbing, migrate, okay. And you want to put it in your project's content folder. Once that's done, you're going to want to come into here, go into demo, which will eventually be meshes character, but for now it's demo character, meshes, UV4, and select humanoid on your skeleton for the UV4 mannequin for the ladder climbing system. And once that's done, we can right click the skeleton, retarget to the ALS, and that will retarget all the animations just to double check. So it seems to look all right there. The next thing we're going to do is go to our blueprints character and open up the master character from the ladder system. Blueprints, character logic, and the ALS base character BP with the weird little pawn guy here. First thing we're going to do is add the ladder component to the character, which allows us to have all the logic. And then in here, we can copy this, paste it here. So now we have our character reference being set. Next, we're going to want to, just going to compile and save. Success only. Next, we're going to want to get the input. So for move forward, I'm going to click copy this. And I'm actually going to copy this, or Control X to copy and delete it at the same time. And I'm going to put it in here. All the other begin play events. And in the input graph now, you want to come back and copy this right here. Check if the player is on the ladder, and we're going to need two of these because you're going to want one right here too, with the left and right. So we're just going to drag this one up here first. Hold Control and click to break the link. And then we're going to connect the ladder climbing check. And if we're not on a ladder, we'll just do a normal input. But if we are on a ladder, copy this, paste it, delete that, and just plug this in. And if we are on a ladder, we'll use our ladder input inside our component. And right here for the move right and left, you can hold Control and break this. Just gonna move this up here or over here. And if we're not on the ladder, we will do our normal movement. And if we are, then there's no movement for the right and left axes. And there's 2 of those created and set up. Next, we're going to want to do our jump off the ladder right here. Copy this. And our jump action here. And we're simply just going to plug that in right here before we do all of our our normal jumping functionality. Connect this. So it'll check if you're on the ladder. If you are, it will disable ladder climbing. And if you're not, it will just do the normal jumping. And after it disables ladder climbing, you just don't want it to, you want your guy to just fall, you can break this. But if you want them to do the normal jumping, and so it'll jump off the ladder basically, you can do that. And the ladder interaction, you want to just copy this interaction if you don't have it. If you do, you'll want to run this through your own interaction event. So wherever your interaction input is running, somewhere in there you'll want to also trace for the ladder. I'll be going over different interactions in other videos in the future, so you'll have a better idea on how to actually set it up. For example, I'll be doing a top-down version, which will also include replicated top-down. Next we want to enable our ladder sprinting. So I'm just going to take all this, copy that. Sprint action. Hold control and just break those. Move those to the side for a second. And now you have your ladder check. If you're on a ladder, you will do your ladder sprinting, and that will stop your ladder sprinting right here. And if you're not on a ladder, we'll just do your normal sprinting. Same thing goes for right here. Trying to make it as organized as possible. And well, there's your ladder sprinting. I'm just gonna fit that in there. Actually, I will quickly. And there we go. Ladder sprinting. And there's a few things we need to deal with the animations specifically, including the animation blueprint. So I'm just going to open up the ladder climbing map. And now we're going to open up our animation blueprint, which is in the character assets right here for the ALS. And animations master animation blueprint right here. Next, I'm going to go to our event graph. I'm just going to copy this orange node right here. And go to our event graph in ALS. Or actually our update graph. And right here, we'll just put that in there. If our character is valid, right click and search for get character. Now we'll get the character that's created in here. Delete that one. Right click, create variable, right click, create variable. And if you want, you can just remove that too, because it just adds that when you create a second one for some reason. Even though it's not in the same animation blueprint or anything like that. So you can compile and save that, and that's that finished there. Now we want to come over to our animation blueprint, or animation graph in our animation blueprint. Copy this right here, Control C, anim graph. Just gonna paste that right there, Control V. It'll take a second. And now we're gonna grab this final pose. Don't need that down there, so copy this right here in the orange. Control C, Control V. Alt and click to break that. Plug that in after that. And now we have this plugged in. So basically, if we're in a ladder state, then we will move into our ladder locomotion. Otherwise, we'll do the normal ALS locomotion. We're still going to need to make a couple adjustments to some of the animations, depending on how you want them to work. The inputs, the montages are going to need to have a few things set up on them. So we'll go into our montage, set this to base layer. Set these both to base layer, the slot right here. And I think we need to set up some curves for these as well. No, that seems correct. We're going to want to do that for all of our montages, and a good way to get our all of our montages actually would be to go to animations, filter, animations, montage, base layer. Oh, this one needs to be stay on the ladder slot. Make sure you pay attention to that. They say ladder slot, keep them on ladder slot. Their default, set them to base layer. So that should be all of those. And I'm just going to double check and make sure that's everything for the climbing in and out. There we go. I'm going to do an addition after. That would show you how to use the iCape. So actually, after a little bit of messing around there with the curves, it doesn't really benefit it too much when you start applying them from ALS specifically. We do plan to set up, or we do have one in the works, but we've been working on it slowly so that the IK will allow our hands and feet to be on the ladder more often, depending on, and the mesh won't break that basically. Right here you can see when I got on the ladder, I actually have some of the IK still, or the curve still enabled from ALS, which you don't really want to basically do that. So that's going to be everything. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those below. And if you like the video, feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks, and I'll see you all in the next one.